Alexander Lowson was a Scottish writer and native of Forfar. He was born on February 14, 1841 in Forfar, the son of John Lowson and Anne Jolly. He was for many years councillor and magistrate of Forfar. He wrote mostly about his native town, be it Portrait Gallery of Forfar Notables or Tales, Legends and Traditions of Forfarshire, and edited Caledonia, a monthly magazine of literature, antiquity and tradition, chiefly northern. He died on February 8, 1903 at Forfar. We will cover his first book, the 1890 John Guidfollow, or The Murder of the Earl of Strathmore, a mystical historical romance of Forfarshire, taking place where else but Forfar, Scotland in 1728. And oddly enough, while talking about witch trials as a foolish superstition in the first chapter, he presents a witch trial here where all the witches are really guilty and actually literally committed human sacrifice and conjured up and kowtowed to the literal devil. Also, the author conflates here a real witch trial with real quote-unquote witches with the same names as those he uses in his book, which took place in Forfar but in 1661. And seemingly and solely so he can vaguely connect one of the witches of that trial, Elspeth Alexander, to James Carnegie of Finnevan and his killing of Charles Lyon, 6th Earl of Strathmore and Kinghorn in 1728. Be that as it may, the beginning shows a gypsy girl dying after giving birth to a child, which was fathered by a nobleman and laird who used her and then cast her aside. Her mother promises vengeance and then switches the laird's legal son with her grandson. Cut 2 years later, where we see Claude Greenhill managing the stables at the Star Inn. And everyone goes on about his inherently noble demeanour and how he seems to have been born for higher things in life. He sees the Provost of Forfar, James Binney, trying to marry his daughter Rose to James Carnegie of Finnevan, and realising his own love for Rose and wishing her to avoid the notorious blackguard Carnegie, Claude has his friend, the wandering minstrel John Guidfollow, give Rose his message, and the two have a first lovers' tryst at Balmanasher Hill. Then Rose is kidnapped by Carnegie and the two only ever meet again 6 pages before the end of the book. Claude himself is part of a gang of smugglers, an occupation Lawson calls honest, and like almost everyone in the story is opposed to the government and wishes the overthrow of the House of Hanover. Indeed, James Carnegie is called a traitor by the Earl of Strathmore because he doesn't want to topple the government. During a smuggling run, Carnegie tips off the preventive men who attack the smugglers in their cave. Most of the smugglers die and Claude, in a dead swoon, is taken on the smugglers' boat to Amsterdam. And this is the last time he shows up until, again, 6 pages before the end of the novel. Because instead we have John Guidfollow going from place to place telling stories of his encounters with ghosts, which you think will become relevant but they never do, and a bunch of asides about the country and its geography and whether or not the King of Scotland had a house in Forfar. We do see several witch sabbaths take place, including one where the witches sing asinine songs and bake pies with meat taken from an unbaptized infant, culminating in a gathering of 500 witches where they all kiss the devil's ass. Before the devil has Elspeth Alexander whipped and condemned to be arrested by the authorities on the morrow because of not showing up to the Sabbath on time. The witches, without any real difficulty, are brought before trial and accused by the local doctor Alan Douglas, after he interrupted one of their earlier Sabbaths via astral projection. This same Douglas later blows himself up moments after discovering the elixir of life. The witches are burned and Rose escapes imprisonment by Carnegie because she and his spurned lover Marion were locked in a cell with a secret door leading outside. Then Carnegie accidentally kills the Earl of Strathmore, who has shown up for maybe 2 pages in the book, and gets found not guilty because of how drunk he was. Then Lowson veers into historical fanfiction because he said Claude was revealed to be the true heir of Finnevan and handed over his title and lands while Carnegie leaves for South America, which never happened.